Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. As you all know, there's always a lot of crypto news to be covered, so let us waste absolutely no more time. First of all, the best thing that I could ever tell you, I think, is that the crypto prices have gone either up or down significantly, resulting in some juicy gains or juicy buying opportunities, but really, the crypto market has been extremely stable for a very significant amount of time. You can see that throughout December here, really, we have not been moving at all, especially the last 11 days here, maybe even 12 days. We have literally not moved. The craziest we've done is about 3% towards the downside, but yeah, we're bouncing right now. Yeah, we're pumping just a little bit over the last hour. Things were looking a little bit better, but generally, if you zoom out here, the last weeks have just been quiet. We only had one little opportunity, I guess, in the exact middle of December, but for the rest here, even if you look all the way back at the end of November, we are basically trading at that same price range, even slightly lower. Now again, in terms of what's going on, there's quite a significant bunch of things. Before we move on though, guys, make sure you put down below what your favorite altcoin is in the comment section, and if you're enjoying these daily crypto updates, make sure you press that like button. I try to not spam you guys with useless updates, just cover it whenever there's very important crypto news that needs to be covered. One of the very interesting things that happened is the Alameda wallet. If you guys don't know what that is, you had FTX and their investment arm Alameda, Sam Bankman-Fried going to quote-unquote jail, or at least the court right now for all this trouble. They're basically had everything locked, we thought, right? Because of the bankruptcy filing. Well, as you guys hopefully remember, we had a hack, which we're gonna get into in just a second, and we had funds that they still had, Alameda and FTX, they could use for things, but were mostly kept stacked until further notice. And so they decided what was the best way to go on forward in redistributing the money or whatever. Redistributing the money, basically. Now, the wallets associated with the trading firm, Alameda, swapped several ERC20 tokens to USDT and Ethereum before transferring the assets to ChangeNow, Fixed Float, and Binance. To be a little bit more specific, we actually have the exact visual of what tokens they were swapping, where to, and the only reason, or I guess the only thing we don't have is the reason/why, and of course, what coins are going to be next, as this is looking like it's just normal liquidation. They're basically selling their coins like Lido and Ava for either USDT or Ethereum on multiple different platforms. Doing so is probably just to make sure that they keep the funds to some degree, because these altcoins can potentially go down even further, especially if we think about the fact that Alameda, this is a very important thing, Alameda being involved in this whole debacle knows which companies still they might owe money to, so to speak, and they might also know which companies are going to go bankrupt in the near future because of the fact that they actually have messed up financials because of Alameda and because of FTX. So they might be selling this right now, their altcoins, because they know worse times are coming up in the short term. It's possible. All right, having said that, there's a very important discussion piece that I don't want to cover in a separate video. Let's cover it as briefly as I can right here. I've gotten the question of, is XRP still a good buy many times, and I keep reflecting by saying, in my opinion, it is, because it seems as if the SEC has too much to hide and too much to lose to go on and basically get all these hidden away documents spread to the public, as they are right now in a couple of different cases and are looking to take over the crypto realm. Everything that they say can be used against them too, especially all the stuff that's been hidden thus far. Well, it makes a lot of sense that if they can settle or get it over with before all the tea has been spilled, that they go for that, or that they just not be too difficult with the verdict of the judge and go into another deep dive of sorts or whatever, because, well, the more that the SEC can deep dive into Ripple to win or try to win this lawsuit, the more that Ripple can also deep dive, and the more we'll find out about how the SEC exactly thought about crypto. I don't think that the SEC knew exactly what they were getting into the moment that they started all this, and I honestly think as well, as of this point, that they have way bigger ambitions. They literally want to take over all of crypto. This Ripple lawsuit is just a little side piece, a side quest for them. But if Ripple does end up winning, it will be a very big loss to their plans. However, I think if the SEC can take the win with Ripple paying a crazy fine, but keep all that stuff hidden, that would be huge. And so many people don't understand this idea of we're buying based on probability, and the probability is very high that Ripple wins. That's just a straight up fact, which means XP would do amazing. There's also a very high probability of some sort of draw, or the fact that the SEC would just like to keep information hidden and thus come to another sort of conclusion. Following that idea, it's just, in my opinion, a very, very good idea to buy it, especially because 2023 looks to be the year in which this is going to end. And people have said in the comments very often, like, oh, we've been hearing this for years. Yeah, you have, but now it's really coming to an end. It's pretty crazy. Alright guys, but before we move on, I should quickly tell you guys about my friends over at BuySwap. These guys I met back in Paris at the Binance Blockchain Week, as they're the main sponsor for the event. But honestly, they're pretty awesome and you should check them out. So what it is, it's a decentralized exchange. We've covered over the last couple of weeks right now why it's so important to keep your assets as safe as possible. And one of the ways to do that in the best extent is to, well, not keep too much money on these centralized exchanges, because they can, theoretically speaking, lose the money and it's not really yours to control. Now, if you want to trade, however, that's a pretty difficult thing, because obviously you need a platform for this. And that's where decentralized exchanges come in, because they don't hold control over your keys at all, right? So again, to give you guys a good idea, these guys work with Binance, they work with a lot of other smaller parties, and what they basically allow you to do is transact crypto in the most decentralized way possible. Primarily focused in this case on the Binance Smart Chain. But again, how to check it out is you just go over to the website, check this little section out, Exchange, X, Promote, and Liquidity. I'll leave a link for you guys down below for that. And it's just as simple as being able to swap on here, or potentially if you like the feel of a traditional exchange a little bit more, this is what it would look like. And again, this is all decentralized, so they can't lose your money, so to speak. Again, we've said it before, but they work closely with centralized exchanges because some people still need it. And that's why there's also a buy crypto via Binance Connect section in there. The BuySwap token itself is also a token you can find over on Binance. But one thing I think a lot of people don't know is the launch pools and the fact you can earn a lot of this token. It's honestly pretty handy because, well, you can see right here, there's a pretty high APY for actually staking your BSW. And like with Cake and like with a lot of other decentralized protocols, it is, in my opinion, very much worth it to hold on to these things. As again, in my own opinion, centralized exchanges in due course, in due time, will fall off significantly, where these decentralized protocols will take over. And so yeah, if you check it out for yourself, a lot of them are very much profitable. Like, for example, this Auto BSW pool. 25% APY is pretty juicy if you ask me. But yeah, I think they're ever increasing into this. And so to quickly get back to it, one of the main things you're always looking for in a DEX is what the fees are looking like and what the advantages are. As far as I know, these guys are the best in the game though, with a 50% exchange fee reimbursement and, as they say, the lowest trading fee in the DeFi space at 0.2%. So if you're a bigger trader, this will matter quite a significant amount. And I think this is also why some people like to tend to go to centralized counterparties, because it sometimes is cheaper. But in this case here, their fees are extremely low, so it's, well, in my opinion, very convenient to use. Again, guys, if you want to try it out and make a swap, I'll leave a link for this down below as well. And you have to understand, at some point, you'll probably have to make the shift, but I'd say just check it out for yourself, make a swap or two over on the Binance Smart Chain, and see for yourself if it's something that you like or not. And again, these guys have been doing extremely well, even though the market has been, well, kind of on the downside, as you all know. And so all I can say about it is I appreciate them a lot for the work they've put in, and I really like the people when I met them, so I'm going to continuously support them left and right. Whenever I get a chance to quickly give you guys a little update on what they've done, I'll tell you. And like I do with a lot of other projects, it's just something you should keep on your radar and try out once. But yeah, there's just a link for that down below. It's worth it to check it out. They have extremely low fees. Check it out, link down below. Having said that, take a look at this. Alameda linked wallets continue to dump more crypto. Alameda Research linked wallets swapped several tokens for Ether USDT Wednesday. We covered that at the start of this video. It was interesting, right? Well, I just found a little bit more about what else they have. So you can see here a little bit of the more money that they have. They also have about $800,000 worth of Bitcoin still left. And it says right here that Elon Musk retweeted this with just an exclamation mark of people to say, hey, pay attention to this. Because also at the same time, this basically came out. Midas shuts down as another victim of the FTX collapse. After FTX, the platform lost about 60% of its assets under management. However, Midas wants to launch a brand new CD5 project next year. And you can more so understand now what I was saying at the start with the fact that FTX might know more, or Sam McAfee, the guys, might know more than we do. And that's also what CZ of Binance warned us for, that the whole downfall in the wake of FTX has not completely been swept over us yet, as a lot of these companies are trying to keep afloat, even though in reality they have a lot of trouble. Also, another part regarding FTX, apparently the US government launches an investigation into the $372 million hack following the FTX bankruptcy. That's also quite a peculiar one. Finally, they're going after it, huh? If you guys all remember, they were very easy going with the fact that FTX got hacked for hundreds of millions of dollars. And even the SEC, who is usually really on top of all these breaches and things and safety hazards, well, they weren't really in the forefront to protect you as investors, it seemed. However, right now, apparently the US government is launching some sort of investigation, a little bit late, a little bit strange that it had to wait so much time. But like Lunar Crush says, I guess as far as we're concerned right now, In due time, all the criminals involved in this entire scandal will face their justice. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's never gonna happen, right? What was kind of funny was what some people on Twitter were saying, that this money, a lot of this money that now was hacked was still supposed to go to politicians. I don't know, but it just seems as if they were too easy with the whole multi-million-dollar hack. Talking about things getting easy or being easy, Japan apparently allows exchanges to list crypto without pre-screening unless they are new to the market. That basically means if there's new cryptos coming up, like an ICO type of endeavor, I think, then they need some screening. But if they're already trading out there right now, they're free to list it as far as they want to, which is still kind of strange at this point, especially if you read now that, for example, Kraken is going to shut down their operations in Japan because of low activity. Maybe Japan is also willing to just forego the forefront or go on the forefront and try to get all this capital there. I'm not so sure exactly what their plan is. We just know it's rather interesting. And then we have regarding Argo blockchain, just a little piece that I thought I should cover. Argo blockchain shares jump 100% plus after Galaxy Digital deal. Yeah, apparently the Argo stock soared on news that the miner company, the big mining company which was going bankrupt, had sold its Helios facility to Galaxy Digital for 65 mil. The deal will see Argo cut its total debt by $41 million as it looks to continue its operations. So that's really good. I guess that isn't going bankrupt or in a lot of trouble from that perspective. And then there was one more last little piece, just small one, but the small things matter, right? Gemini, Winklevoss twins facing potential class actions from their investors. Products should have been registered as securities, so investors could have received disclosures that would have let them better assess the risks, plaintiffs argue. Gemini marketed GIAs with repeated false and misleading statements, including that GIAs were a secure method of collecting interest, the complaint said, and so these guys, some people, are going after them, which usually happens after one of the pieces has fallen, right? So in this case here, FTX fell, and so right now, well, people are trying to kind of take down the rest of the space because there's money in it. If there's a vulnerability, people will try to take advantage of it. And hopefully you guys remember why there was so much trouble with Coinbase Earn. It's because of disclosure like this, right? So with Gemini right now, they're having these issues over Earn products and what exactly it meant and how exactly they should have disclosed it. It's all just infancy stuff for the crypto space. This is not too scary, except for the fact that the lawsuit could indeed set through, and it could set the precedent for how crypto exchanges can go about earn models and lending models, especially in the US, which is negative because this more means that all these guys will move abroad to different jurisdictions where if something happens, you can never get your money back. Like, for example, FTX US wasn't really in a lot of trouble. FTX and Alameda were registered completely somewhere else. Not 100% sure about where Alameda was actually registered. FTX itself, though, in Panama, I believe, or somewhere along those lines. It was obviously the Bahamas. Not so sure why I said Panama. But you have a lot of these islands like Seychelles and whatnot where the rules are just pretty nice. Whatever. That was it for today's crypto news, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.